Hello once again, my friends, my fellow historians, and my fellow modelers. I'd like to welcome you to another video, and today we're going to be looking at a model kit that was reissued, but this is going to be the U.S.S. North Carolina BB-55, and I'll be doing some videos on her coming up, and she was the most decorated ship of World War II. So today we're going to take a look at the Revell model kit of the U.S.S. North Carolina. Okay, today we're going to take a look at this model kit from Revell. This is the U.S.S. North Carolina BB-55. And one of the reasons I chose this model kit, this may not be the most detail-oriented kit of the ship, but what I want to do is I want to put her in the razzle-dazzle that she has now. And I think this model would be easy to practice on that, because I haven't really done that before. And I really like the plate that goes up against the ship. And before I begin, there's a couple of things about this model kit. It was kind of disappointing because when I had gotten this off eBay, the seller had listed it as new. And they said that it was sealed from the factory. Well, they considered this old tape that's keeping the cover on factory sealed. And I had looked in just to make sure that it wasn't broken or anything, but well, it's a long story, so I might as well show you. Once we get in, you'll know what I'm talking about. But this is from Revell. You can see they got a nice picture of the finished model on the front of the box. Her overall length for the kit will be 15 1/8 inches long. And this has got a skill level of 2. That's interesting. It says military memorabilia not included in the kit. You can see they have medals, they have a Navy uniform, they have different things in the background, which is a nice touch. This is kit number 851502, and it has basically the same picture on the ends of the box as it does on the cover, and it's the same on both sides. So looking at the side of the box, you can see another picture that's been taken of the finished model. It's really a good looking model. I think it's going to look great when we do the razzle dazzle. And it gives a little bit of information on her on the side of that. Commissioned in 1941, the battleship North Carolina survived a torpedo hit by Japanese submarine I-15 in 1942. To later join famous battles throughout the Pacific. This plastic model may be painted to match pictures on the box. Cement and paint not included for ages 10 to adult. That's a little, usually the Revell, they usually put a little more information. They also have it in French and Spanish. You can see to the end, this is a 2009 release. Then we can see a little bit of features of the model kit on the other side of the box. Detailed features, detailed hull, deck, and superstructure, full 15 1/8 inches long, 9 elevating 16-inch guns on 3 main rotating turrets, massive array of secondary armament and anti-aircraft guns, colorful signal flags and decals molded in light gray, decorative nameplate display stand. And then you can see some of the pictures. We got at the bow section, you can see the anchor chains. You can see the main 16-inch guns in the front. You can see the smaller 5-inch guns mounted on the side of the ship. Going to the fantail, you can see the aft 16-inch guns. You can see the planes and the launchers that are on them. And then finally, you can see the propellers and the rudders. So that's basically everything that's on the box. So we're going to take a look inside now. And like I said, this was listed as new, and it was disappointing because as soon as I opened up the box, I had seen pieces that had already been started, as well as there are a few pieces that are broken. So we're going to go through it because I want to show you the kit. But keep in mind, it's already been started, and It's definitely not new. So I think what we can do, since the instructions were on top, we're going to take a look at the instructions. So you can see there's a little more information on the ship now. So I want to read this to you. On August 24th, 1942, swarms of Japanese dive and torpedo bombers began an assault on American warships in the eastern Solomons. Their attention centered on two ships, the aircraft carrier Enterprise and the new battleship North Carolina. That was North Carolina's first test of firepower, and her anti-aircraft barrage was so thick that Enterprise radioed her captain, "Are you afire?" When the smoke had settled, North Carolina recorded 7 downed bombers, and several more probably downed. Her loss was 1 man. But the Japanese were not to let the great ship rest after her baptism of fire. On September 15th of 1942, the periscope of the Japanese submarine I-15 focused on the massive shape of the battleship. Within minutes, a shattering explosion tore through the bow of North Carolina. The Japanese torpedo had left its autograph in the form of a 32-foot gash. North Carolina turned sharply, increased her speed, and sealed off the flooded compartments. She was soon out of danger and headed for Pearl Harbor for repair. The Japanese propaganda radio reported the sinking of North Carolina at least 6 times. However, at the conclusion of World War II, the North Carolina was still afloat. After 40 months in the Pacific Theater, she had logged 307,000 miles and was credited with downing 24 enemy planes and 1 merchantman. While North Carolina was seriously damaged twice in battle, she lost but 9 crewmen, and she earned 12 battle stars. When North Carolina was decommissioned in 1941, she was the first of the Navy's modern 35,000-ton battleship. During her trial run, she sailed majestically in and out of New York Harbor and drew so much attention that she was nicknamed the Showboat. Today, the Showboat is enshrined at Wilmington, North Carolina, as a memorial to all who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. On April 1st, 1965, the first of her thousands of visitors were treated to a spectacular reenactment of her exciting career, with stereophonic sound and realistic smoke-belching guns. This 45-minute production is entitled The Immortal Showboat. So that's really cool information, and this ship is absolutely gorgeous. Just to give you a hint or a taste of the book review, this is the U.S.S. North Carolina BB-55 from World War II combat to museum ship. This is by David Doyle. And if that name sounds familiar, I've shown you books on him on the U.S.S. New Jersey. So in the bottom of the instructions, you have this section, read before you begin. We've got the study the drawings of the instructions. The plastic parts are identified by numbers. Check each fit, the fit of each piece before cementing, things of that nature. All right, so now we're going to actually go on to the instruction. Well, nope, let's see. This might be the comments and questions, Revell Incorporated. We got the paint guide. So the paints that we're going to need, the colors, we're going to have dark gray, flat black, flat red, gold, light gray, sea blue, and tan. And then below that is the decal application instructions. Cut desired decal from the sheet, dip in water for a few seconds, place on paper towel, and things of that nature. So now when we switch over, they actually give a parts list. So I'm not going to go through the parts list, but I wanted to show that to you. Okay, now we go on to part 1. And we have some info on the ship. So launched June 13th of 1940 and commissioned on April 9th of 1941. Her overall length is 729 feet. Her beam is 108 feet 4 inches. Her displacement is 35,000 tons. Her main armament are 9 16-inch guns, and she's got a design speed of 27 knots. For her engines, she's got 3 General Electric and 9 NY steam turbines of 121,000 horsepower. And she had a crew of 2,500. So we go on to step 1 now, and you can see we're going to cement the hull halves together. And there's a section at the back that needs to be put in place as well. And in step 2, you can see the assembly of that base. I think that base is really cool, by the way. I like the anchors on either side, and I love the nameplate. And then the hull is going to go on to that. Step 3, you can see the 16-inch main guns. So it looks like the guns are going to come up through the bottom, and I think they snap into place. We'll find out in a minute. So you can see the formation of what's going to be the superstructure, and then we're going to put the deck down onto the hull. In step 5, you can see it looks like the captain's yachts or the lifeboats, or it could be a captain's yacht and an admiral's yacht. And you can see the smaller millimeter guns, or the anti-aircraft guns that are going to go on either side. And this looks like it could be the 5-inch guns that are going to go on, but I'm not sure. On to step 6 now. We're going to put that onto the deck. And you can see we're going to add 2 more of the 5-inch guns that are going to go on the side of the ship. And then we have more of the anti-aircraft guns, and the 2 that are going to go on a fantail. So the formation of the superstructure with the smokestack, that's going to go together, and then we're going to put this platform on top, and this platform that actually has more of the anti-aircraft guns on it. Then we're going to add more guns to a platform that's going to go onto the tower. That would be this section right here. And then you can see how it's going to attach to the superstructure, and then there are more guns that are going to go on. And then on top, you can see the rangefinders. On to step 8, you can see, I think this is the rangefinder for the main guns, but I'm not sure. And that's going to go on to the tower. And we have a couple more pieces that are going to go on, and then the finished section is going to go on to the hull. And then you can see the formation in step 9 of the second smokestack, and all the platform with more of the guns and another rangefinder that's going to go on that. And then the finished piece, you can see the antenna or the tower that's going to go on there. And on to step 10 now. You can see all the pieces that are going to go onto the ship. We're going to put the second smokestack on. We got the pole in the front for the flag, and you can see the launch for the planes. And then you can see the crane that's going to go all the way aft. And interestingly, this is when they have us put on the propellers and the propeller shaft housings. Usually that would be done before. When we build our model, we'll do that before because we're going to paint the hull. And then finally, you can see in step 11, you can see the rigging. So we've got the rigging that's going to go all the way down to the bow, going to go up across the top, and then all the way down to the crane. And the flags, you can see where the placement of the pennants would be, but on the box, yeah, there's no rigging on the box. It just has the pennants coming down the sides of either side, so it doesn't have all the rigging like they suggest in the models. And you can see the finished model. So basically, it's pretty straightforward with the build. Again, there's not a ton of detail in this kit. All right, we'll do it that way. So when you look at, when I opened up the box, I had noticed there were a lot of loose pieces rattling around. And then as soon as I looked in, I had seen this section. And obviously it had already been started. And you can even see the gap. So that was disappointing. But this will give you an idea of what the ship is going to look like. Or the superstructure anyway. You can see the life rafts, the anti-aircraft guns. And then I noticed as well, they had done the main deck, and they had started putting the main guns on. Incidentally, you can see 061914JM, Northbrook, Illinois. I'm not quite sure what that is, but they had already done the guns. You can see on the bottom where they would glue this piece on so they could be rotatable. And let's see, what is that writing? Copyright. Looks like 1989, but I'm not sure. And this is part number 9. But you can see the decking and the guns at the fantail. And this is where the 16-inch gun is going to be mounted aft. And then as we go along the deck, you can see the gun bins or the gun tubs. And up front, there's a lot of detail considering the kit. You can see the anchor cranes. And finally, you can see the guns. And this one has been, it looks like it's, I don't want to force it because I don't want to break it. But you can see whoever put this together, there's a little bit of flash on the barrels of the 16-inch guns. But the tops, they look like they have good detail, and they'll be painting up nice, especially the way we're going to do it in a razzle dazzle. So that's the reason I had gotten this kit, because I had wanted to do that in practice. Let me show you a picture of it. All right, so this section right here, to give you an idea of the razzle dazzle that I want to paint on, you can see the way that looks. You got that would be the first smokestack right here, and then you have the tower. So let me show you what she'd actually look like. Isn't that beautiful? I love that camouflage paint effect. And you can see looking up at the smokestack. So yeah, that's how I want to do it. But the more I show you this kit, it doesn't look like it's going to be this kit, because there are broken pieces. And the way it looks like there are missing pieces as well. So we got this section. The main deck, the guns are put together, the tower, the first smokestack. And when it comes to the hull, let me show you her. See, this would be her starboard side. And you can see the anchor and the lines. Going aft, you can see where the propeller shaft housings are going to come out. So let's put it together and take a look and see what that piece is. Alright, let me try to... So I'm going to put a clamp just to hold it in position. There. So it looks like there's quite a big section. Where is up? That must be this piece. So it's going to go in this way. Anyway, that piece is going to go in there to fill everything in for the back of the hull. At the bottom, below the waterline, you can see the bilge keels. So those are the halves of the hull. And you can see this section that's going to go on the deck. And I notice a lot of the 5-inch guns, a lot of the barrels are broken. So you can see that's broken off right there. Do these swivel? No, I don't think these are made to rotate. They might be, I'm not sure, the way they look, but this would go onto, let's see, I think this would go here, because there, don't forget, we would have to put the walls up to bring it up, elevated. And then we have these are the pieces that would form the base. So let's put these aside. This looks like one of the walls. You can see all the doors. And let's see. I'm not quite sure what these pieces are. Let's see. This parts tree has, looks like another tower that's going to go up on top. You can see the propellers, 4 propellers, and it looks like there's a vent over here. And these could be the propeller shaft housings that are going to come out the back of the bottom. And you can see one of the 16-inch guns. So, yeah, the way they go in, this would come off the parts tree like that, and you insert them into the openings, and then because it's rounded at the bottom, what you do is you snap it into place, and that would be where it's able to elevate the barrels. And you can see the little anti-aircraft guns that are on here, the barrels are broken on that too. Then we get into a bunch of smaller pieces that are all over the place. You can see the other side of the wall for the superstructure. Let's see, this tree, it's got the base or the stand. Like I said, I love the anchors. That just really looks so cool. And then we got the nameplate as well. Let's see, this tree really has nothing. Maybe that was the hull. And this could have been the one for the deck. There's nothing on this tree either. So now there's a bunch of small parts. You can see the lifeboats. Let me just show you all the parts that are on the bottom. And a lot of them have the 5-inch guns. The barrels are all broken. See, this one is completely gone. And you can see the plastic that it came out of. So let's take a look at the pennants. So you can see the American flag, and then we have all the calling numbers, or the pennants. And interesting, you can see the British flag, and on top of that you can see the Nazi flag. And I don't know if that would have been where she destroyed a Nazi ship. I'll find out more when we do the history of the video. But that's the signal flag sheet. And lastly in here that I see would be the decal sheet. So again, she's BB-55, and on the fantail or at the stern you can see North Carolina. And I think these might be, these are going to go for the waterline to show the height of the waves. And that's basically the decal sheet. So it's weird because I can tell that there are pieces that are missing, like the cranes that go up on the side to launch the boats, the lifeboats, and the yachts. Those aren't included in the kit. and a lot of the smaller guns, the 5-inch guns, a lot of the barrels are just broken off. So this is a disappointment because of the condition of the kit. And again, it was listed as new, so I don't think I'm going to end up keeping this, only because there's so much damage to it. And it had already been started, and there are sections, like I said, you can see how when they put it together, they didn't really bring it all together. There are gaps in the places, and it's just kind of disappointing because it wasn't super expensive, but the reason I got it is because it was listed as new. And you know, I had seen the condition of the box, and that's no big deal because we're going to build it. If it would have been completely unstarted and there would be no broken pieces, and I probably would be like, okay, we're going to go ahead and build this. But because of the situation, and it has so many missing pieces, so I apologize, but I did want to show this kit to you. It is historic in the fact that the U.S.S. North Carolina is the most decorated ship in World War II, the battleship. So I thought this was really cool to show it to you. So when it comes to building her, I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and get this kit, or maybe get something a little larger, where it might be easier to do her razzle-dazzle paint scheme in. But my friends, I'll be doing a video on the book, a history, and a bunch of videos coming up related to the North Carolina. So I'd like to introduce you to this beautiful lady. So my friends, until the next kit that I get, or the next video pertaining to the U.S.S. North Carolina BB-55, I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.